In 1952, Einstein wrote to his old friend Maurice Solovine and drew a small diagram. It looks simple, but it says something deep about science. At the bottom, he places E, immediate experiences. Measurements, observations, events, everything that reaches us from the world. These experiences are essential. They are the ground under the whole construction. But Einstein's point is not the usual school version of the scientific method. From E to A there is no logical staircase. No formula takes raw experience and mechanically produces the first principles of a theory. The move upward is a leap, intuitive, extra-logical, psychological. It is an act of invention guided by experience, but not deduced from it. At the top stands A, the axioms, the fundamental principles. They may be ideas like space, time, field, inertia, geometry, or causality. For Einstein, these principles are free creations of thought. In this precise sense, they are fictional, invented by the mind, not copied from nature. But fictional does not mean arbitrary. The theory is not allowed to float away from reality. Once it is chosen, logic becomes strict. From the axioms, we deduce special statements, S1, S2, S3. These special statements are the visible consequences of the theory. Predictions, explanations, numbers, curves, experimental claims. Then the arrows return downward. The consequences must be compared with experience. If the consequences agree with E, the theory survives for now. If they do not, the axioms must be changed or replaced. So experience judges the theory, but experience does not generate the axioms. This is why the deepest part of science is at the top of the diagram, choosing the conceptual frame in which nature becomes intelligible. A new theory is not just a new equation. It is often a new way of deciding what the basic words mean. For Newton, space and time were separate stages. For Einstein, they became one structure, space-time. That change did not come from a simple induction from data. It came from a conceptual leap, then it was disciplined by consequences. At this level, science and philosophy are not enemies. They meet in the construction of concepts. The bottom gives resistance. The top gives imagination. The path back down gives testable truth. So science is not passive recording. It is a creative jump from experience to principles, followed by a rigorous return from principles to experience. The world gives clues. The mind invents axioms. Experience decides which consequences survive.
Dear Solovine, as always, I was delighted by your last letter. As for the changes proposed by you, I am in complete agreement. Carl Selig is a good man, but he takes the task that he has undertaken far too seriously, alas, with the result that he bothers everyone. Tell him whatever you think best and pass over whatever you wish in silence, for it is not always good to be presented to the public nude, or rather neuter. Make your decisions, but do not communicate them to me, for I do not wish to be mixed up, even indirectly. In this affair, I did of course answer a few positive requests. Now I come to the most interesting point in your letter. I find it strange that I consider the comprehensibility of the world to the extent that we are authorized to speak of such a comprehensibility as a miracle or as an eternal mystery. Well, a priori one should expect a chaotic world. One should expect the world to be subjected to law only to the extent that we order it through our intelligence. Ordering of this kind would be like the alphabetical ordering of the words of a language. By contrast, the kind of order created by Newton's theory of gravitation, for instance, is wholly different. Even if the axioms of the theory are proposed by man, The success of such a project presupposes a high degree of ordering of the objective world, and this could not be expected a priori. That is the miracle, which is being constantly reinforced as our knowledge expands. There lies the weakness of positivists and professional atheists, who are elated because they feel that they have not only successfully rid the world of gods, but bared the miracles. Oddly enough, we must be satisfied to acknowledge the miracle without there being any legitimate way for us to approach it. I am forced to add that just to keep you from thinking that weakened by age I have fallen prey to the parsons. All of us here are well, including Margot, who thanks to her operation has developed more resistance. In the elaboration of the non-symmetrical field theory, I have found an important complement which determines the general equations of the field a priori, just as the simple principle of relativity determined the equations of gravitation. With warmest regards to you both, your Albert Einstein,